So here we have Ziggy, and we are working on his leash walking out here. I'm going to show you how it is we're working on that. So I'm going to start by taking treats, put it onto my left side, and then walk him nicely to my left side. Turn him this way. So he goes out in front of me, and take those treats back to my left side, and repositioning him with treats in the treats only, never using that leash to reposition him. This way. Yes. So when I say this way, and he turns around quickly like that without even seeing the treat, I want to say yes, using those positive marker words. Yes, good boy. This way. Yes, good boy. Easy. So when he goes out in front of me, I want to tell him, easy, give him a heads up before he hits the end of that leash. This way. Easy. When he goes to hit the end of that leash, I'm going to stop walking. I don't want to feed into the pulling. Easy. Bringing him back to my left side. Good boy. This way. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Good boy, this way. Yes, good boy. Good boy. So the reason I say yes and good boy, those are positive marker words, so eventually I won't need the treats. And the reason I say easy is I give him a heads up before he hits the end of the leash. This way. When he jumps up like that, I'm not going to reward it. Reward that calm behavior. Yes, good boy. This way. Keeping him to my left side. Nice loose leash. This way. Easy. This way. So the reason when he goes out in front of me that I wouldn't continue walking is I don't want to feed into the pulling. So if he's out in front of me and the leash is taut like this, I have to stop walking. I want him to realize he's only going to go when I go. Feeling a little goofy this morning. So I'm going to give him a little untangled. And when he goes to chew on that leash, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to try to get the leash behind his head and have him focus on the treat. Good boy. Typically when we're in a store, Ziggy's much more focused. He knows we're out and about in the setting. But here is it different. We're at the manor, we're in the driveway. So it's definitely a different environment to work on leash walking, which is great. We want to work in different settings. This way. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Never pulling him back with the leash. This way. Yes. Good boy. So the reason I'm not going to pull Ziggy back with the leash is if he goes on for me, easy, and I sat here and I was yanking him back to my left side, I'm actually teaching him to pull harder, and we don't want that. We want it to be that he understands the concept that if I stop walking, we're not going anywhere. And when you're to my side, we continue walking. Of course, if he's a step behind me, that's perfectly fine. We'd rather him be a step behind than in front. Bring him back to my left side. Again, using those treats at all times to reposition. Easy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. This way. Yes. Bring him back to my left side with that treat. Keeping that treat nice and low so it doesn't teach him to jump. This way. So if you're sitting there and you're working on leash walking with Ziggy in your own home or in your own environment, and the sitting here waiting for slack doesn't seem to work, then another thing you could do is the turn around method. So let's see if you do it. This way. So that means I just turn around and I change my body language. Once he refocuses and comes back to my side, that's when I want to reward him. This way. Yes. Good boy. This cues handler focus that he knows that he needs to watch my body language and where I'm going so he can keep up with me. This way. Yes. Good boy. Again, keeping those treats nice and low so we're not teaching him to jump for them. This way. Yes. Good boy. Good job. Like I said, when we walk him on a leash in the store, it's completely different than walking in this setting. That's why I chose to do the video here at the manor instead of at a store. This way. Because in a store, we're walking down aisles. He doesn't have the free reign to run this way and that way. Easy. Whereas here, he wants to go play with the other dogs. Much more distracting, actually, than when we go to the other stores, because we go to our stores and he walks with me. He knows he has to stick with me, and we've had that since the beginning. So when we walk on a leash here, same thing. There's other dogs around. There's dogs right up there that he can see. We want that focus. I'm going to reward the calm behavior. Good boy. He still has room for growth with this, as you see with all of his commands. He is still a baby, so it's not like he's going to go home and walk phenomenal on a leash. Leash walking is a whole new command of its own, so that's why this video is supposed to be utilized to help when he comes home, to transition him into walking on a leash for you as well. So telling him this way. Yes, good boy. Easy. This way. Yes. Good boy. This way. Yes, good boy. This way. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. This is handler focus, him looking at me. This way. Yes. And that's why I want to say good boy when he's looking at me. Yes. Good boy. Rewarding with positive marker words, that handler focus. Like I said, if he goes to chew on that leash, I'm going to bring it behind his head, out of sight, out of mind, and bring that tree to my left side. Once there's a tree in front of him, he's focused on that instead. This way. Yes, good boy. This way. Yes, good boy. This way. Yes. Good boy. He's doing really well with this. Like I said, he still has room for growth. He is still just a baby. And of course, this is stuff we'll go through during his go home, as well as his go home video. We'll definitely explain a lot of this and goes in more depth. And plus, you'll see growth from then and now, or from now to then. You'll definitely see some growth, that he'll probably be a little bit more calmer. Right now, he's still a spunky, excitable puppy. He's still just a baby. So that's why we do this and why we practice this every day. He's doing really, really well with all of his basic obedience. And yeah, so this is leash walking. Good boy. Good job.